Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Angela Meyers, and welcome to a brand new series where we explore one of the most important human advantages of the modern age, polymathy, or as some say, polymathy. If you've ever felt like you were interested in too many things, if you've struggled to fit neatly into one lane, if you've been told to just pick your one thing, even though your mind naturally moves across many, this series may feel like home. Because for a long time, many highly capable people have misunderstood themselves. They thought they were scattered, distracted, unfocused, or too broad. But often that isn't the truth. Sometimes what looks messy from the outside is actually just a different kind of intelligence. And that intelligence has a name, polymathy. In this series, we'll explore what polymaths are, how polymaths think, why polymathy matters in the AI era, and how to build polymathic life, how organizations can leverage polymathic talent, and why many people who never fit conventional boxes may actually hold extraordinary potential. So let's begin with the foundational question. What is a polymath? At its simplest, a polymath is someone who develops breadth across multiple areas while also cultivating depth in more than one domain. And this is important. A polymath is not just simply someone who dabbles randomly. A polymath is not someone who starts everything and finishes nothing. A polymath is not just interested in lots of things. A true polymath develops meaningful capability across different areas of life, knowledge and skills, and then uses those areas together. And that combination is powerful. Throughout history, polymaths have been known by many different names. Renaissance men and women, of course. Generalists is a tangential term. Universal person, multi-passionate people, multi-potentialites, interdisciplinary thinkers, cross-domain innovators, creative synthesizers. There's all these different labels, but it's basically the same pattern in varying degrees. It's a person whose mind naturally reaches across boundaries, someone who can see relationships that others miss, someone who understands that reality itself is interconnected, even if institutions divide it into departments and silos. So why does this matter? Well, because many of the most meaningful problems in life are not single discipline problems. Burnout is not just a psychology problem. It's also a systems problem, a leadership problem, a cultural problem, sometimes even a technology problem. Business stagnation is not just a finance problem. It may involve innovation, communication, incentives, customer psychology, and design. Health is not just medicine. It includes sleep, nutrition, stress, movement, relationships, purpose, and environments. Complex problems usually require integrated thinking, and that is where polymaths often shine. The superpower of the polymath is, many people assume that the superpower is just knowing many things, but that's only partially true. The real superpower is an integration. It's the ability to combine ideas from different fields into something useful, original, and often unexpected. A polymath might use psychology to become a better leader, use design principles to improve customer experience, use history to better interpret current trends, use storytelling to communicate scientific ideas, use philosophy to guide ethical business decisions, or use technology to scale human creativity, use art to make complexity understandable. This is where novelty often emerges at the intersection of these disciplines, new combinations, not from staying inside one silo, but from connecting and mixing the silos. So why does polymathy matter in 2026? Well, we're living through a major shift. Artificial intelligence can now generate text, images, code, summaries, workflows, and automation at an astonishing speed. that changes the landscape. Some narrow tasks that once created status or job security are becoming easier to automate. Information itself is more abundant than ever. But abundance of information does not equal wisdom. Speed does not equal judgment. Output does not equal originality. And data does not equal meaning. This is where humans remain deeply valuable, especially polymathic humans, because humans still bring judgment, taste, ethics, context, discernment, emotional intelligence, lived experience, strategic synthesis, meaning making, the ability to ask better questions, the ability to connect ideas no system was specifically instructed to connect. AI can be a tool, but humans decide what matters. And polymaths often excel at deciding what matters across multiple dimensions. Some polymaths feel misunderstood. Many polymathic people grow up hearing things like, you need to focus. Why can't you just pick your one thing? You're all over the place. Stick to your one lane. Now, sometimes focus can be wise. But sometimes those messages come from systems built for industrial era predictability, not human complexity. Modern life increasingly rewards adaptability, learning speed, communication, cross-functional thinking, creative synthesis, the ability to reinvent yourself. Many people who once felt like misfits may actually be early adapters to the future. You might be polymathic if you constantly connect ideas from unrelated fields, you get energized by learning, you become competent in multiple arenas, you dislike being trapped in narrow identity boxes, you see patterns that other people overlook, you reinvent yourself across seasons of life, you care about both depth and breadth, you want meaning, not just credentials. If any of that sounds familiar, you may have polymathic tendencies. And here's my final thought. You may not be scattered. You might just be multidimensional. You might not be behind. You just might be early. You may not need to become someone else. You may need language for who you already are. And in a world being reshaped by artificial intelligence, uncertainty, and rapid change, the ability to learn broadly, think deeply, and integrate wisely may become one of the greatest assets a person can possess. So that's Polymathy. I'm Dr. Angela Meyers, and this is the beginning of our series. If this resonated, please subscribe, share it with a fellow curious mind, and let me know in the comments, have you ever felt too broad for the world around you? I'll see you in the next episode.